cabinet colleagues and fellow grassroots advisors, grassroots leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and I'm delighted to join all of you for the 60th anniversary of the CCMCs. Happy 60th birthday. I also want to acknowledge, as we did just now, the CCMC chairs who came together to organize today's event, all 10 of them from different CCMCs. Let's give them a big round of applause to acknowledge their efforts too. Thank you very much. I'm sure all of us agree that CCs are an integral and unique feature of Singapore life. They have evolved over the decades in both form and function, as we saw just now from the video and also the exhibition. The early CCs were simple buildings, humble, practical, quick to build. But they played critical roles in the lives of Singaporeans. For example, in the 60s, when we had high unemployment, the CCs ran courses for residents to learn vocational skills. At the time when people were not so educated, Singaporeans could bring letters to the CCs to have them read out loud or have letters written for them. And as you saw just now, we had farmers back then, and they could bring their livestock for vaccination. Not for COVID vaccination, but for livestock vaccination. As a newly independent country, CCs in Singapore also help to strengthen community bonds and foster social integration. People of different backgrounds, different races, different religions would all come together and gather at our CCs. In those days, the CCs were the ones where the only places in the neighborhood where you could find a TV. So as you saw in the video or in the exhibition, everyone would come to the CC to watch their favorite show, movies, or even the news. On festive occasions, CCs hosted events celebrated by the different ethnic groups, whether it's Hari Raya, Deepavali, or Chinese New Year. The CCs had sports facilities, whether it's a basketball court, badminton court, or table tennis courts, and people would come together to play sports together. That was my memory growing up in the CC too, because I would go there as a kid. We participated in art drawing competitions. There were 2 table tennis courts there. This is the old Marine Parade CC, and my brother and I would bring our table tennis bats, and then we would go and play table tennis, ping pong. Everyone would come, bring their own bats, and then you can, take turns to play. Play 1 or 2 points, and then you give way for another person to play together. So those were our shared memories of CCs. Of course, with changes in our society, CCs have also been quick to adjust. Nowadays, Singaporeans have many more options for recreation, and they can also access government services with the click of a mouse. And so CCs have had to update their offerings and also to find new ways to reach out to people, offer a broader range of services, and cater to diverse interests, whether it's coding, robotics, 3D animation, even stargazing. The CCs have also upgraded their hardware and introduced new modern amenities. They have become one-stop service centers in their respective estates. Many are now co-located with other public amenities like polyclinics and public libraries, and often house government agencies. They have also brought in commercial partners like childcare providers to support the diverse needs of Singaporeans. Nowadays, you have CCs in a mall, and some have become large integrated hubs like here at One Punggol. In times of crisis, our CCs have also stepped up. We saw this in 2013 during the haze when the CCs became distribution centers to provide masks to low-income Singaporeans. During COVID, CCs served as collection points for masks, for Trace Together tokens, ART kits, and later became vaccination centers. So through the last 6 decades, our CCs have continued to be a focal point for residents, and they have stayed true to their mission to bring residents, to bring Singaporeans closer to one another, closer to the government, and to strengthen our community bonds. It's not surprising, therefore, that in a recent PA survey, 90% of Singaporeans, 90% of Singaporeans said that CCs are important providers of community facilities and activities and places for the community to come together. This is after 6 decades of serving, 6 decades of existence. 90% of Singaporeans still believe that CCs are playing an important community role. So well done to all of you. Of course, we all know that CCs are effective because they are more than just buildings. It's the people behind the CCs that bring them to life. And that's why we are grateful for all of you who serve on our CCMCs. You are the heartbeat of our CCs. You are the driving force behind the CCs. In the early days, we appointed grassroots leaders to run the CCs. To be very honest, it's because we didn't have enough trained staff to run the CCs. So we relied on volunteers. But in fact, it made a lot of sense because grassroots leaders like yourselves are leaders of the community. You understand what residents need and how the CCs can best serve the needs of residents. And that's why it made a lot of sense to have grassroots leaders come forward, serve on the CCs, and figure out how the CCs can find meaningful ways of engaging residents and of serving residents. Of course, over the years, the work of the CCMCs expanded, and then you have other areas to add on to the CCMC work. Now you have Youth Network, Women's Executive Committees, the Senior Citizen Executive Committees, the Malay and Indian Activity Executive Committees, all the different acronyms which you are all familiar. But all of you play key roles in the CCs, curating programming, finding ways to engage residents better. So this evening, I would like to thank all who have served on the CCMCs, both past and present. Thank you for your passion, commitment, and dedication. Thank you for making a tangible difference to the lives of countless Singaporeans. Thank you very much, everyone. It is this spirit of service and contributing to the larger good that enables us to take Singapore forward. We want many more Singaporeans to be involved in contributing to our community and shaping the future of our nation. That's why PA has refreshed its mission statement to emphasize the importance of promoting and expanding such ground-up community participation. For the grassroots movement, it means not just doing events for our residents, but empowering them, energizing them to contribute and to do their part to shape the character and tone of our estates. For the CCMCs, you can also do your part to support this refreshed PA mission. Find ways, for example, to refresh and reimagine how the CCs can or should operate. Think of ways where your CCs can be nodes to activate and mobilize the community. And that means you have to go beyond just renting out rooms, go beyond just having classes in your CCs. Think about how you can be deliberate in using the space to bring the community together, how you can curate activities that foster greater community ownership and facilitates more resident-led and ground-up initiatives. Make the CC a place where residents can come together, have a greater sense of ownership, and do things for one another. Our new CCs are already designed with that in mind. So the new CCs have spaces which can be easily used by residents. For example, at Bidadari CC, there are spaces which are used by the Potong Pasir community volunteers, not just grassroots leaders, but also the wider network of community volunteers, and they can use these spaces for a whole range of ground-up projects which they do, including a community library. These are new CCs. They are specially designed like that, but I think we can also do more with our existing CCs. And this is why PA is launching 2 initiatives next year to foster community-led innovation and to support more ground-up initiatives. First, 10 CCs will embark on a pilot to develop community innovation spaces. These will provide platforms for residents, volunteers, and partners to formulate creative, innovative solutions to local issues. The spaces can be used for activities like brainstorming sessions and capacity building workshops. The CCMCs involved in this pilot will form task forces to oversee the project. PA will learn from the pilot and hopefully, in time to come, bring more CCs on board. Our aim is to build a broader community platform where residents and partners can come together to tackle shared challenges. We hope this will give residents a stake in their own community, a greater sense of ownership, and a stronger sense of belonging. So this is the first project, which is to have a pilot to develop community innovation spaces in our CCs. Second, PA and the CCMCs will organize a community innovation hackathon next year. This will bring together residents, volunteers, tech experts, and others to identify and analyze local issues and to develop innovative and practical solutions. And we want the hackathon not just to be a competition for ideas, but to translate the ideas into action. And we hope this will catalyze community involvement and again foster a stronger sense of community for all of us. These are 2 good initiatives. I hope you will support them, and I encourage the CCMCs, all of you, to keep up the good work. Today, we are celebrating 60 years of the CCMC. Next year, we will also have another 60th anniversary. Do you know what it is? I hope you do. If you don't, then maybe you are living on a different planet. It's going to be a bigger 60th anniversary next year because next year we mark 60 years of Singapore's independence. It will be Singapore's 60th birthday. SG60 is a significant milestone for all of us. So we are working out a series of programs and events to mark this important occasion. But SG60 should not just be about celebration. It is and should be an opportunity for all of us to reflect on our shared values, who we are as Singaporeans and what we stand for. It should be an opportunity for us to renew our commitment to Singapore, to do our part to build our shared future together. So we will have more opportunities, more platforms in SG60 next year for Singaporeans to connect with one another from all walks of life, for us to show our care and support for each other, and for everyone to contribute actively in big ways or small to our community and to our nation. Of course, all this is core and central to the work of PA, to the CCs and the CCMCs. So naturally, all of you will be amongst our key partners for SG60. Of course, beyond PA, there will be other organizations, companies, community groups, individuals, everyone who would like to do something for Singapore during our SG60 year. So we welcome your participation too. We want to see more people involved. We want to encourage more ground-up participation. And we hope that SG60 will enable us to connect with our fellow Singaporeans, to contribute to the community, and to strengthen our sense of shared purpose and identity. All in all, there is much to be grateful for as we approach Singapore's 60th anniversary milestone. And we only have to look around the world to know that we are in an era where there is a lot of complexity, a lot of turbulence. There are conflicts and violence in some parts of the world. In many countries, there's great uncertainty. Societies feeling a sense of division, where trust is not there, and people are unable to get along with one another, and so are unable to solve their problems together. We are very blessed and fortunate that a lot of these negative elements are not here in Singapore. Are things perfect? Of course they are not perfect. There is nothing that's perfect here on earth. But the point is, we can keep on doing better and we can keep on improving. And all of you know that. All of you as grassroots leaders, all of you as members of the CCMC recognize this. Problems are what motivate you to step forward, to solve the problems, to tackle the challenges with your fellow citizens, and to make things better. Instead of a culture where we point the finger and blame others, instead of waiting for others to solve the problems for us, we take ownership because we are all Singaporeans together, and we strive to make things better for ourselves and our fellow citizens. So I hope your actions will inspire many more Singaporeans to do the same, and I hope that SG60 will be a time for all of us to renew our commitment to Singapore and to take our nation forward towards a better and brighter shared future for all. Thank you very much, and happy 60th anniversary to the CCMC.